Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to a new brushed racer, a very compact, and it's a new series from Eachine. This is the EX100 and it's the BNF version including a DSM2 or DSM-X. It's supporting both protocol nano receiver, so it's completely different from the former series, the QX and this excellent QX95 I reviewed maybe 2 weeks ago. I strongly advise this one. So this one offers at least two main features. Now you have a 800 TVL 25 all-in-one FPV camera, okay, so with better light sensitivities and better color rendition, so that's a good point. And also you still have the SPS3 board, but also you have some Chaoli strong 8.5 by 20 brushed motor. So this machine should offer much more power versus at least the 90 and 80 QX series. This one was already equipped with a very strong motor. So let's discover a little bit the content of the box. Okay, here are all the elements of the box. First of all, you have this 600 mAh power 25C 1 cellular LiPo battery ending with micro LED connector. So I can give you the weight, but it's exactly the same LiPo than the QX series, exactly the same. They just had stickers, 14.5 grams, okay, more or less the same weight. So it's pretty strong battery, and it should offer close to 5-6 minutes of flight time. You have now a battery strap. Yeah, good things, because all the QX series was sometimes a nightmare to attach the battery, and here you will be able to attach on top. Just install gently the battery strap, blocking the battery over the upper desk, okay. And you have a bag of spare props. The props are like the QX90 and 80 series, but since we say that it's a new type of motor, so I hope they won't pop off so easily like the 90 version, QX90, okay? So, but it's always nice to have such a bag with spare props, black on front, red on rear. I should reverse, but it's like this. And a last bag with a USB charger ending with micro LED and two Velcro band to secure completely your battery over the desk. You have to install and tape the other Velcro band on your quadcopter. So let's focus a little bit more on the quadcopter, and let's compare it with the QX95, for example. So they are quite similar. Well, this one is a little bit modified. In fact, the props are from the QX80. Originally, the props of the QX95 are exactly the same than this one, so more rounded extremity props. I installed this one because they are pop off much less easily. So in terms of design, it's more or less the same with the central FPV camera, so no more props visible in your FPV flight, yes, like the QX95. And look that, you can see that immediately the lens have been changed. So on the 95, 90 and 80, the field of view was quite wide, 170 degrees, and here you can see it's much more elongated, as said it was here more with a 120 degrees. So at my point of view, it's better to fly outdoors with a little bit narrow 120 degrees of field of view compared to the 170s. Versus this one, I removed, to save some weight, the upper part, the upper plate. So here, let's give immediately the total weight without the battery, okay, and I will remove the lens cap. So, well, first bad news, it was announced to be 38 grams and finally it's 40.1 grams, so a little bit more heavier, 3 grams more heavier. Why? Because compared to the former edition, now they added some little piece of foam protecting the bottom side of the Chaoli motors. You can find the same type of rubber element to jail the motors. Some people are not so satisfied with, because versus time, versus crash, the motor can be inclined, and you should have to reinstall correctly in the rubber housing. Okay, but it's not so bad in my point of view. All the wires are protected. There is a new piece of foam here, and directly soldered on the SP Racing F3 board. Look at this one versus the former one. Okay, now the USB micro plug port is completely available, very free to access, versus the 95 where the port was blocked by the LEDs. Now, like the other, the built-in receiver have two antennas, so a diversity system for this nano high-range X receiver. You can probably guess it's an high-range X. In my point of view, it's a brand from Eachine, Banggood, just for the parts. Okay, here for the nano receiver, it's basically an associated brand with Banggood. So it's a 2SM2 and 2SM DSM Hex radio nano receiver with diversity antennas. That's a good point. So the counter range should be not bad at all. Is it equivalent to a FierSky receiver? You know, I'm a fan of FierSky receiver. In my point of view, since this one is a clone of the FierSky D8, and it's known that the range is not so good versus a real DF42, for example, in my point of view, the counter range should be comparable, around 3, maybe 400 meters. That's great. But in any case, the video link will be broken before. So with this 25 milliwatt, you can expect 150, maybe 250. And I recognize this FPV combo camera. It's my point of view. It's the TX01 I reviewed recently, exactly the same. So you have this small button here to, if you're a short person, is to select one of the 8 VFRAC inside the current selected band. And if you long press more than 3 seconds, you are cycling versus the frequency band. 40 channels are supported. Okay, you have 2 small LEDs indicators on top of the video transmitter, okay, on the lateral side. So the top one is the current frequency band selected, and the lower one is one of the 8 frequencies selected. So I don't know if this model is supporting NTSC and PAL format. I know that the TX01 was only supporting the NTSC. I hope that if you long press on the button more than 5 seconds, you can select maybe the display format, because I prefer to fly in PAL format. So actually, I guess out of the box is only an NTSC, you have to know. Carbon elements are very thin, and you can see very flexible, so I hope it will handle a hard crash, okay, without breaking. That's a drawback. It's 1 millimeters, okay, just one, and I'm not sure it's even richer 1 millimeter, so I will try to guess that. Yes, it's 1 millimeters. Yes, 1 millimeters elements, okay, for both upper and lower plate. So one open question is, will be strong enough? I think yes, at least when you are landing on grass. If you're flying indoors, be aware if you have very hard ground surface, you can maybe break by accident. So be aware of it. Except that, what will be the total weight with the battery and the battery strap? So we said 41.1 gram for the quadcopter standalone. I had 0.4 grams for the battery strap, and well, the LiPo battery you reach 56 grams. Okay, so it's exactly more or less the same weight than the QX and my modded QX95 by removing the upper desk. It's even 1 gram lighter, and even less because I can remove also the look, that is close to 2 gram lighter, so it's amazing. So definitively close to 2 gram more heavier than the modded QX95, and I don't see where we can remove some weight. Well, in the worst case, I think you can remove the upper plate here, as well the standoff. Okay, the camera should be maintained, I don't know how, and you can strap the battery here, okay, on the lower plate. And in this case, I think you should reduce considerably the weight. At least you can save 2 grams at least So really, if you need some save some weight, but be sure that the motors are different. Look that for the 95 motors 8.5 got 4 holes on top. I hope you can see. Okay, lateral 4 in quadrature, and this one don't have only 2. So for cooling them, so there are different type, and these motors are announced to be Chowdy, so probably the most strongest cordless motors. So and what I don't see in the packaging is our spare motors. No spare motors, no instruction manual as well. So so it means that the longevity of this motor will be impacted because they are much more stronger and powerful, so by consequence reducing the life, and they don't include free spare motors. That's a drawback versus at least the 95 and the 90. The cloverleaf antenna is seen and should resist more or less to some element, but be aware if it's a TX901, this base jointure where is soldered the antenna is not bendable, so I'm afraid that it will break. Okay, here exactly at the PCB part, upper PCB part of the transmitter. I'm a little bit afraid, and I'm raising caution for this compared to this one or this one where the antenna was more flexible because attached with some rubber band elements. Here is not the case. You cannot select the angle, nothing. It's completely blocked, and I'm really afraid that this antenna will break more easily. So this is for me my main fear for the longevity of this model. Really what I like is the new type of motor, the new improved FPV camera, DSM-2 or DSM-6X receiver. It's good. A lot of users like to fly with Spectrum radio. So I will show now how to bind it, and before to show the default clean flight configuration, because out of the box this flying control board, the SPF3 board, come with clean flight 1.13. And you have 2 options to bind it. Since it's a DSM-2, usually have to bind DSM-2 or DSM-X. You have 2 charts between the signal. So the signal is this white here, and the ground. The ground is just here. You can use a tweezer, okay, while powering, and you jump them between the ground and the white. Okay, don't touch between the plus VCC and the signal. Okay, but there is also another way, more soft. If you are afraid to make a short with your tweezer, is by through clean flight configuration. You have some special command to enter and to save in the CLI. Okay, and you will be able to bind. So let's focus how to proceed this binding. Okay, here is the binding procedure of your EX100. So the receiver is assumed to bind either the DSM-2, the whole one, or DSM-X protocol. Well, I found that in practice only the DSM-2 was working, at least with a Devo controller. Maybe with a real Spectrum is working. And it's very interesting to look at those weight pages. You have the different value of the special command you have to type in the clean flight, the Spectrum sat bind command. So the first 2 are associated with the DSM-2 protocol with different precision and duration of the packet, and the last 3 for more of the DSM-X. So I will use more of the 3rd version. So you have to first of all to connect your USB, okay, then connect to clean flight, then go to the CLI and type your command set spectrum _sat_bind equal to 3. Then you have to absolutely to save the command to reboot. So now when I will disconnect, okay, and remove the USB power, now when I will power with the battery, the receiver will enter into the bind mode. Okay, so let's do it. and then I will power my transmitter. I selected a model file where I selected the DSM2 protocol, and then I will press bind. Okay, and the receiver should become solid after a couple of seconds. Okay. And it should be bound. Okay, so now I will disconnect, turn off everything, and let's check that everything is working. So I will reconnect to the clean flight, go to the receiver section, I will power the radio, and you can see now everything is working. So the throttle is here, okay, and don't forget to apply the this default channel mapping, starting with throttle, okay, and everything is here. So for me, DSM2 is working, but if I was binding with DSM-X, the channel behavior was not correct. So don't forget to the last stage to turn off the binding command. So by typing set spectrum sat bind equal to 0, okay, and don't forget to save. Okay, now no problem with your machine. If you reconnect to the receiver, everything is here, the channel are here, no problem. Okay, aux2 is here, aux1 is here. Okay, so here was the binding procedure.